MX Phoenix Hexapod. The creator of the six-legged robot says to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. The spider-like structure is quite heavy at 10.4 pounds, and it's interesting because the author designed and made many of the parts and the algorithm for how they move. The author didn't leave any important details of the project and posted a lot of photos on zentersrobots.com. So if you're interested, you can easily make something similar at home. Harvard Arthrobots. Here is a different suggestion from Harvard. About 175 billion plastic straws are used and thrown away every year in the US, so it's nice to see that at least some of them are used for science. This thing with a spider theme is as simple as it gets. When air is put into the modified straws, the legs straighten out because the joints are bendy. Engineers have made both single robot legs and robots that look like stick insects, spiders, and even water striders. The movements are controlled by Arduino microcontrollers, and the software part took a lot of work. They had to make a whole new algorithm for the gate with 8 legs. Robotic Dog. It's the 21st century, and engineers are testing flying cars. Scientists in the US have taught AI to use X-rays to figure out a patient's race. Pizzas are being delivered by drones, so when you hear the words robotic animals, you probably think of something like this. MIT MINI Cheetah. So far though, things in this area look a little bit different. A project from MIT is shown on the screen. This robot cheetah may not be very pretty, but it can run at 25 miles per hour. It's still much slower than a real cheetah, but the robot has something going for it. It can fix itself, and it's pretty easy to fix. The designers say that putting it together is like playing with Lego blocks, so it is easier to do all kinds of experiments. Kawasaki Bex. Japan's engineers showed off a very unique robotic goat, and the Kawasaki Corporation was in charge of the project. At the Robotics 2022 International Exhibition, they showed off the robot and showed how it can help farmers in different ways. The robot can carry about 220 pounds and can move in 2 ways. On smooth roads, it moves on wheels. On bumpy ones, it moves on legs. In bot robot rat modes, the robot can be controlled by hand, and it can also move on its own. Rat SQuRo. Changes in China are just as interesting. Just have a look at these mechanical rats. This is a great way to find people under rubble, check places that are hard to get to, and do other similar tasks. This version weighs about 7.8 ounces, and were made after X-ray pictures of real rats were carefully studied. It has passed a number of tests, including one where it carried about 7 ounces of cargo up a slope of up to 20 degrees. The robot rat can get back up on its feet after falling. It can also bend, squat, crawl, and climb over obstacles. The engineers want to make their idea available to the public. For instance, they want to make a model with sensors that can be used to check pipelines. Titanoboa. Did you know that the Titanoboa left what is now Colombia a long time ago? It was a snake that was 43 feet long and weighed more than 2,205 pounds. Scientists were able to figure this out though by looking at Titanoboa skeletons that had been kept. This is because the Titanoboa went extinct a long time ago. But in this video, this snake came back to life as a robot. Engineers from Canada are sure that it is the biggest robot of its kind in the world. The idea for the robot came up in 2011 and it was finished in 2015. 8 Arduino Mega microcontrollers run the Titanoboa, which is 50 feet long. The maximum power of the motors is 25 horsepower, and the robot can go up to 2.5 miles per hour. About 30 minutes is how long the batteries last. At the moment, the team is trying to find a permanent home for the robot in a museum, gallery, or exhibition center. Snakeskin Robot. Scientists from the United States have also been interested in snakes. Harvard University is where this robot was made. The most interesting thing is the fake skin that looks like a snake's scales. The system is fed air, and the skin is stretched so that the scales stick to the surface and move the robot. The engineers say that the Japanese art of kirigami gave them ideas. In contrast to origami, it needs scissors and uses cuts instead of folds. Americans tried out different options and chose trapezoidal cuts because they made the movements last as long as possible. They plan to use their robot for different things, and rescue services might even use it. Robobee. This is an unusual DIY project for people who like to build things. There are 1,000 pieces to put together in this $150 set, which will give you at least 4 hours of fun. 3 out of 5 for how hard it is to put together, and there are 2 kinds, regular and with lights and sounds. After being put together, the size is expected to be 8 by 8 by 8 inches. Iron and copper are the main ones. The kit has a screwdriver and pliers and weighs about 2.2 pounds, and 2 sets of wings and tails will help the model look a little better. Putting something together yourself gives you a sense of satisfaction and a sense of having done something well. MIT RoboTuna. Why try to make something new when Mother Nature has already made it? This robot fish, which looks like a Pacific bluefin tuna, is a great example. The test version was able to swim for about 40 minutes at a depth of about 40 feet, moving with currents and taking pictures. The RoboTuna project will help find ways to make robot submarines that are small. They are needed to look for pollutants, map the bottom shape, and do other things. Engineers are having trouble with power right now because the batteries run out too quickly. So they decided to make a better house by taking a different approach. The engineers said that the robot is an experimental unit that can do more than one thing. Stickybot. Time magazine says you are looking at the best new thing made in 2006. This is a robot that can go up and down stairs. Geckos gave the engineers at Stanford the idea to make it. The feet of these lizards are really amazing, and it wasn't until the invention of the electron microscope that scientists could study them in detail. They turned out to be made of the finest bristles, which are called setae. Each square millimeter has 14,000 of them. Geckos can hang with just 1 foot because the grip is so strong. Stanford tried to do the same thing. One version of the bristles is 5 times thinner than a human hair, and the main advantage is that it uses less energy than suction cups and sticky materials. The robot can already move around on wood, metal that has been painted, and even glass. In the future, it might help builders, rescue workers, and scientists all over the world. Have a look at this robot in Germany. The goose looks like a real goose from far away, and people in the comments are worried that it will be shot by accident one day. They've also found uses for it in the military, such as the kamikaze goose. The current version can fly for about 15 to 20 minutes, and there are different models with wings that are 64 inches wide or 73 inches wide. The head of the robot is made of basswood and is beautifully painted. This homemade model stands out because it has a torso. Festo AquaPenguin. In Hanover, where this robot penguin was made by local engineers, it is 21.2 pounds heavy. It has a system that lets it find its way on its own, and it can swim by itself or in a group. It is powered by an electric motor and 15 amp-hour batteries, which allow it to move up to 3.1 miles per hour and stay underwater for up to 7 hours. The flexible torso was made possible by the fin ray technology, which was based on fish fins. Penguins are very good at staying alive in the cold waters of Antarctica. Engineers tell us that because of how they are built, they use less energy to move through the water, so robot penguins with lots of different tools inside will be able to do even the hardest jobs. Squidbot. Next, we'll talk about something that changes the way we look at squid. And no, it's not a new TV show. Scientists were actually inspired by this animal when they made this robot to explore the underwater world. The people who made it say they basically made all the important parts that squids use to swim quickly, but we still have a long way to go. In tests, the model went about 0.62 miles per hour, while the Humboldt squid can go up to 15 miles per hour. The robot moves by shooting out water, and because it is made of soft, flexible materials, it is less likely to hurt corals or fish. The robotic squid is also small and can carry a camera, sensors, and other tools. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell buttons.